Hello mga ka-MathWiz! Welcome to MathWiz TV, our math tutorial made easy. So for today's video, we're gonna discuss geometric sequence. But before that, let us define what is geometric sequence. When we say geometric sequence, it is also known as geometric progression. It is a set of terms in which each term after the first is obtained by multiplying the preceding term by a same fixed number called the common ratio, which is commonly presented by R. So, based on our definition, R is our common ratio. So, for us to get R, we need to get the second term and the first term. So what we will do is just to divide a sub 2 divided by a sub 1 to get the common ratio or R. Before we proceed with the computation of geometric sequence, first let us identify if the given sequence is geometric sequence or not. So how are we going to identify if this one is a geometric sequence or not? By computing its R. So when we say R, it is common ratio. And again, we solve this by a sub 2 and divide it by a sub 1. So in here, we have the first term, which is 1. Therefore, we substitute to a sub 1. And then our second term is 5. So therefore, if we divide, 5 divided by 1 is equals to 5. That is our common ratio. So for us to check our answer is correct or sequence is geometric, let us multiply. So 1 multiplied by 5, the answer is 5. Next, the 5 multiplied by 5, the answer is 25. And 25 multiplied by 5, the answer is 125. So therefore, the sequence given to us is a geometric sequence because they have common ratio which is equals to 5. Okay, next, number 2. So as we can see, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on and so forth. Can we say that this one is a geometric sequence or not? Let us try. So first, solve for R, which is the common ratio, and then get the second term, which is 4, and divide it by 2. So our 2 is our first term. 4 divided by 2 is equals to 2. Therefore, our common ratio is equals to 2. Now, what we will do is to multiply it to our first term to get the second term. 2 times 2. The answer is equals to 4. And then next, 4 times 2, the answer is 8. But in here, the answer is 6. Therefore, we can say that the given sequence to us is not geometric sequence. Okay? Let us try another, number 3. So again, solve for R. To solve for R, we need a sub 2. A sub 2 all over a sub 1. And in here, our a sub 2 is equals to 1/4. So we get 1/4 all over our first term, which is 1/2. Again, so in dividing fraction, what we will do is to copy the numerator, which is 1/4, and then change the operation from division, make it multiplication, and then get the reciprocal of the denominator. So 1/2, the reciprocal is 2 over 1. Therefore, if we are gonna multiply 1 times 2, which is equals to 2, all over 4 times 1, which is equals to 4. Or since 2 and 4 is divisible by 2, we can divide it by 2. 2 divided by 2 is equals to 1. 4 divided by 2 is equals to 2. So therefore, the common ratio is 1/2. Our r is equals to 1/2. Therefore, we need to multiply it to our first term to get the second term. So first, we multiply. So 1/2 times 1/2. So multiply it to 1/2, our first term. So 1/2 multiplied to 1/2. So if we're gonna multiply fraction to a fraction, what we will do is to multiply the numerator to numerator, denominator to denominator. In this case, 1 times 1 is equals to 1 all over 2 times 2 is equals to 4. Therefore, our second term is equals to 1/4. Let us see if 1/4 is the next term. So since this is 1/4, we can continue the process until we are done with 1 over 16. Now, let us try again. So, second term multiply to our common ratio, which is 1/2. So, 1/4, which is our second term, multiplied to 1/2, which is our common ratio, to get the next term. So, again, numerator to numerator, 1 times 1 is equals to 1. 4 times 2 is equals to 8. So therefore, our third term is 1/8. Let us check if our answer is correct as we multiply. Yes, our answer is 1/8. Therefore, we can continue the process until we are done with 1 over 16. Again, we multiply it by our common ratio, which is 1/2. So our third term is 1 over 8. Multiply to our common ratio, which is 1/2, to find the next term. So again, 1 times 1 is equals to 1. 8 times 2 is equals to 16. So therefore, our answer should be 1 over 16. And as we check, the answer is 1 over 16. Therefore, we can say that this one is an example of geometric sequence. Now let us proceed with next example. Determine the common ratio and the next three terms. So in here, we have given 4, 8, and 16. The first thing that we need to do is to find the common ratio. And again, what is the formula in finding the ratio? So for us to find ratio or common ratio, what we will do is to divide the second term and the first term. So as we can see, a sub 2 is equals to 8, and then a sub 1 is equals to 4. So therefore, 8 divided by 4. Then as we divide, the answer is equals to 2. Therefore, our common ratio is equals to 2. Therefore, we write it here, common ratio, which is equals to 2. And then, so as we can see, we have the last term here, 16, multiplied by 2. The answer is 32. So therefore, the next term is 32. And then, to find again the next term, you multiply the last term, which is the 32. The new last term, which is 32, multiplied by 2, which is 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 3 is 6. Therefore, the next term is 64. Now, this will become our next last term, or our new last term, which is 64. So, you write 64, multiply it to our 2, which is our common ratio, to get the next three terms. So, as we can see, we have two terms already. So, 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 6 is 12. So, therefore, the answer is 128. Therefore, the next three terms are 32, 64, and 128. So, these are the three terms of the 4, 8, 16 with common ratio of 2. Okay, next, let us proceed with another example. So, in here, the given are 625, 125, and 25. So again, what we will do is to get the ratio or common ratio. So R is equals to A sub 2 all over A sub 1. So our A sub 2 or second term is equals to 125 all over 6 to 5. So as we divide this, we can find 1 over 5 because the numbers 125 and 625 is divisible by 125. So therefore we cancel this one. That's why the answer is 1. And then 625 divided by 125, the answer is 5. That is why our common ratio is 1 over 5. Now, so what we will do is to find the next three terms. And again, we are gonna multiply our common ratio to our last term here. So our last term here is 25. So 25 multiplied to 1 over 5. Therefore, our answer is 1 times 25. The answer is 25 over 1. 5 times 1 is equals to 5. Therefore, the answer is 25 divided by 5. The answer is 5. And then 5 now becomes our next term. So therefore, that will be our next last term, which is 5. So we solve again for the next term. Therefore, we use 5 as our last term, multiplied by 1 over 5, which is our common ratio. Then you put all over 1 on a whole number so that you will not be confused. Okay, so 5 times 1 is equals to 5 all over 1 times 5 is equals to 5. Therefore, 5 divided by 5, the answer is equals to 1. So 1 now is our last term. Now let's proceed with the last term. Okay, so our new last term, which is 1 multiplied by 1 over 5. So as we all know, if any number multiplied to 1, the answer is the same. So therefore, the last three terms are 5, 1, and 1 over 5. So we write it here, 5, 1, and 1 over 5. Therefore, the next term of 6 to 5, 125, and 25 is 5, 1, and 1/5. Okay? Now let us proceed in finding the nth term. So this is the example. Find the ninth term of 4, 8, 16. So we all know that this is an example of geometric sequence because they have common ratio, right? So again, the formula that we need to use or we are gonna use is a sub n, which is our nth term, a sub 1, which is our first term, multiplied to r, which is the common ratio, raised to n minus 1. So in here, n is the number of terms. Okay, so let us try. What is the value of a sub n? Do we have any value for a sub n? So in here, a sub n is not given. So we are looking for a sub n. But we can write it as a sub 9 because the value of n here is the ninth term. We are looking for the ninth term. That's why a sub n is equals to a sub 9. Okay, now let's proceed. A sub 1. So we all know that a sub 1 is the first term. And in here, 4, 8, 16, the first term is equals to 4. That's why we write here 4. And then the common ratio. Again, to find the common ratio, what we will do is to get the second term, a sub 2, all over a sub 1. So what is our a sub 2 or second term? It is 8 divided by our first term, which is a sub 1, that is equals to 4. 8 divided by 4, the answer is 2. Okay? Now, therefore, our common ratio is equals to 2. And then n is the number of terms. Since we are looking for the ninth term, therefore, the value of n is equals to 9. Now, what we will do is to substitute it on our formula. Again, what is the value of a sub n? So, we don't have a sub n. That's why we change it to a sub 9. Because we're looking for the ninth term is equals to a sub 1. So, in here, a sub 1 is equals to 4 multiplied to our r. What is our r? Our r is equals to 2 raised to what? Raised to 9 minus 1. That will be our formula. Now, let us try to solve. So, as we can see, we already substitute the value of a sub n, which is a sub 9, a sub 1, which is 4, r, which is 2, and then n minus 1. So, first thing is to solve the exponent. Okay? Before we multiply. So, therefore, 4 multiplied to 2 raised to 8 power. And then again, after that, we need to start with, is it multiplication or the exponent? So we need to start at exponent. So therefore, we write or copy 4 and then solve for 2 to the 8th power, which is 256. Okay? And then after we get the 2 to the 8th power, what we will do is to multiply 4 times 256 or 256. The answer is 1024. Therefore, the ninth term or a sub 9 is equals to 1024.